Welcome back to DuctQuote Training. And what we're going to talk about in this session is editing your layout. Now, as we mentioned in the last segment, you can do a lot of editing many parts of your layout using the edit mode here. Now, that's located, as you can see, in the top left, and this allows us to edit either a section or a series of selected sections. And this includes the material. It allows you to specify what of the DuctQuote product lines we're going to use as far as material, either US Duct, the rolled lip and flange product, or US Tubing, our guaranteed no leak product. It also allows us to specify the diameter. Now this is entered in inches, and if you select standard IP in the settings, and if you've selected millimeters, if you've set it to metric SI. Now you're manually setting this diameter. Our recommendation, however, is to use the DuctQuote Calculation functionality, which is designed to ensure the DuctQuote is going to size and set up proper air velocities and volumes. Next is the length of the selected section. Again, this is basically in inches or in millimeters, but this allows you to manually set the length of any segment. Now, if you set the segment too short for selected fittings in that section, DuctQuote's going to warn you, and we'll see that in a little bit. And then we also have slope. Now, slope is very useful in things like mist collection systems. It allows you to either read off or to set the slope of a selected section of DuctQuote. You can select or type it in. Now, the values, if you're going to type it in, do have to be between negative 45 degrees and positive 45 degrees. Now, we can also use the Design tab. And as you can see, if I have selected a section, that Design tab will be applied to only the selected section. If we have not selected a section and we open the design, you can see that this would be setting options for the entire layout window. So let's do some editing. All right, so we're going to open up, as you can see, our 4-drop system, and we're going to select the inlet section right here. And let's set its diameter to 8 inches, and let's set its length to 60 inches or 5 feet. Now it's going to ask, do we want to change this up or downstream? Let's select this upstream against flow so we don't move everything else. And you can see that we've got that extension now and a reducing branch. Okay? So now we can go in and we can select, instead of 12-inch, let's set this section to, say, 9 inches. You can see that that gets reduced. And we go in and let's say set this to maybe 16 inches. You can see that it gets increased, and now let's change its length. Let's make its length only 8 inches. And again, let's push this upstream. And as you can see, we get right there, section 15, a warning symbol. The yellow warning symbol, if we click on that section, we can see here on the right the problem. The problem is we made it 8 inches long, and the fittings themselves require 17 3/4 inches. So we can fix that. Let the system fix it to just the right size. And this time I'm going to shift downstream. And there we go. Now it just does fit. Now if we chose, we could go ahead and set these last 2 sections. I'm holding my control key down to select both. And I can go ahead and set those to the same 16-inch that we have there. Now, please note, I changed the size of the outlet of this fitting. And because of that, its size requirements changed. We're going to need additional length. So I'll have to let it, again, be fixed. Okay? All right. So I would have you try this. Play around with it a little bit. And so for instance, here's an idea. Draw an additional section here. Let's select it and play around with things like the slope. If I wanted to set that to, say, a 3-degree slope, it's asking me, do I want to shift which end? Well, if I shift the upstream end, that would be the end where the inlet is. And you can see that we now have a down 3-degree slope. We could also change from duct to tubing. And you can tell that it's tubing now because of the sharper vanstone shape and the blue color. So again, play around, try editing some things, see what you can do. Take some time, get comfortable with these, and when you come back, we're going to be looking at importing floor plans or drawings so that you can draw directly over that floor plan. Now, when you prepare for this next segment, you will see there's a link to download the example floor plan for our show.